What's going on, everybody? Welcome to RNG Crypto. It's your boy here with you for another video, guys. In this video, we're doing an interview of Element. Element is one of the many blockchain projects that are going to launch in the Connect United ecosystem. They are focusing on digitizing gold assets. So it's really big use case in the future, guys. And this interview will show you all the details and tell you a little bit about what their plans are and what they have lined up coming up in the future. And guys, a partnership with Gala Games is on the table as well, which is huge, not to mention the billions of dollars of in-ground assets that they currently already have possession of because they own several gold mines around the world. With that said, guys, I want to also make sure that you guys are aware of what Connect United is. Check out my other videos, but basically it is an ecosystem of different real case or real use case projects across the world that are going to be launching very soon here. Most of these are in pre-launch. The only one that's out right now is Green, which is really focusing on subsidizing your energy bills and being able to get energy credits and then using those credits for either to trade for or do some kind of subsidized payment on your energy bill, guys. So this is huge. This is a big use case, and there's actually some really bullish news around Green coming up in this interview as well. So if you want to learn about what Green is doing, that's coming up in this interview. But guys, Element, their nodes are the lowest nodes that you can get in terms of price points for a full smart node, $2,500. Guys, if you recall what Gala Games nodes did, they started at $1,000. Now they're going at $96,000. This has a similar future, and again, they are working on partnering with them. If you are interested, check out my referral code down in the description. Come in here and get signed up and just dip your toe. You don't have to go for a full node. You can go for just a Blockbot, which is basically a fractionized node, guys. With that said, guys, let's get into this interview. I hope you enjoy it. Take it easy. Talk to you in the next one.
So people who couldn't get checking or banking or didn't have access to, to certain economies, that changed with Bitcoin because now everybody can have access. We are trying to do the exact same thing, but have gold and other precious elements as our backing. And so now here's another scary thing. So Saudi Arabia is considering accepting the yuan instead of dollars for Chinese oil sales. And look at the date on that. That's March 15th of this month. That's when this article came out. You're seeing a shift, and you're seeing a shift because of the gold reserves that China has. And so we see that this power that gold has is changing the world. Now we are going to change with that. What's happening right now, and again, obviously mining is dangerous, but the question we have for you and the point of Element is, what if blockchain technology could eliminate some of the problems in the precious metals industry? And the problems that I just mentioned, these are only a few of the problems. The environment being destroyed, countries consolidating and hoarding gold for power. These are only a few of the problems in the precious metals industry. But the blockchain, a decentralized network, can change these problems, can take the power away from the few. And it can do this because of the changes that have happened in the world, because of digital assets. Right now, everything's being digitized and they have value in the metaverse. People have these little NFTs, pictures of these apes or monkeys that they're selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars because people realize that digital assets have value. And that is the key to Element, is that a digital asset has a lot of value now. So what if you can transfer the power, transfer the value of gold into a digital asset? And that is what we are doing at Element. So how are we going to do that? Okay. First, we need to control elements. We need to control gold. We need to buy gold mines. Second, you need to verify what's in the gold mine, because that's critical to step number 3, which is digitizing those elements. Because if a physical asset can now have a digital value, everything has changed. And you guys are watching it happen live in real time, that everything is changing. Now, even look at Gala with Gala Music, right? Snoop Dogg, right? Sold his album as an NFT and has made $100 million with Gala Music because it's an NFT. Everything is changing in the world. And the gold and diamond and precious element industry is the perfect industry to put into the blockchain and to digitize those assets. Because the physical assets, it's great. Everybody needs gold. We need gold for jewelry. We need gold for technology. We need gold for a lot of things. But The majority of gold is just stuck in a vault as a stored value. Well, guess what? If you can create value in an asset that stays in the ground, then that asset will stay in the ground. So let's talk about how we do this, okay? So first, we acquire mineral rights. Acquiring mineral rights allows us to accomplish two things. Number one, it makes sure that those minerals are not pulled out of the ground, okay? Now, some will still need to be pulled out of the ground because we still have to have gold and copper and all these things. But for all this gold that's being just stuck into a vault used for power at the expense of the environment, we're going to acquire as many mineral rights as we can. We've already started. We've got 19 gold mines that we've targeted that we're in contacts with in Ghana. We've got 2 gold mines in Arizona. We've got multiple gold mines in the Amazon in Guyana. And we are acquiring these mineral rights, okay? So that number one, other countries can't get them. Other mining companies can't get them. Our blockchain will own these rights, okay? So we've got mines in Ghana, Guyana, and up in Alaska with our partner. Next, we verify what's in the ground. You have to know what's in the ground. If you're going to transfer the value of an in-ground asset into a digital asset, you have to know what's there. So we scan the ground using these scanning technologies. We go do an assay report like you're seeing here for one of the mines that we have out in California, where they go in and they drill. And they drill up, they pull up the cores samples and they test them, and we can find out exactly what's in the ground, because that's critical to the next step, which is digitizing that asset. So how do you digitize in-ground gold? There are many ways. Just off of that report, you can take that digital, that report, upload that information into the blockchain, and you've digitized it. And now you can transfer the value of the in-ground gold and create something that represents or replaces that in-ground asset, okay? And that something is a digital reward, is our coin. And there are many ways that you can get that coin. Obviously, you guys already know the drill. You are node owners, every one of you on this call. A lot of you have many nodes. Joining our blockchain and being a node holder gives you the right to this digital asset by running a node, by putting your computing power into the blockchain, by putting it into the Element blockchain. But you guys are smart, you're savvy, you're early adopters, you know what to do. We are trying to reach a broad audience. We're trying to bring in more people, because unless you have a big, robust network, there may not ever be a value for our digital reward. The more people earning the coin, using it, it creates a marketplace. And so we need to bring in more people, and the more people that are in this, the better it is for you as token holders. And so we need to broaden our network. We need to bring in more people. And so we're looking at this, who's had a lot of success? Well, Gala's had a lot of success, and Gala's into gaming. So one of the several ways that we're going to digitize the gold is through a gaming platform. And we know that if we can make in-ground gold be as valuable as above ground gold, the gold will stay in the ground, and we need it to stay in the ground. And to do that, we engage the blockchain. And obviously, here's my little slide that talks about how you digitize. There are many ways to do it. You take the gold, you create a digital version of it, you spit it out on the other end, and we hope that our digital version has value. But we are of the firm belief, we can't guarantee or make any promises, that the digital version will have more value than the physical version. Believe me when I say that. The digital version can be worth more than the physical version. And so we have to create a mechanism in which to digitize the in-ground asset. The in-ground asset staying in the ground solves a lot of problems for the environment, for these communities. It keeps power from being centralized by the few, and that digital asset is more widely available. So one of the ways we're going to do that is through this game. So this is a game that we've purchased from a guy named Todd Hoffman, who's a star of Gold Rush on Discovery Channel. He just started a new show. So what we're going to do is when we buy these gold mines and you find out where the gold is, then you put a game interface over those actual gold locations. So when the gamers come in and they play, as they find the gold that correlates to where the gold actually is on the real mine, they get rewarded for it in our digital token. And you can use those tokens for in-game assets. You can, we'll have little towns just like, like Townstar or with Farmville, but it's going to be mining. So the physical mining doesn't happen. We mine it digitally through a game. And this is how one of the options. Now, if some people say, I'm not into gaming, I just want to run a node, no problem. Run your node, you'll still get rewarded. But in order to upload the results of these mines into the blockchain, we're going to make it fun. And we're going to have this game here to where our users can buy pieces of land. They can mine it. They can upgrade your equipment, using tokens and dig deeper and earn more rewards. And now this entire massive community is involved in verifying where the gold is, and they're getting rewarded with our coin. And now this game, before it was tokenized, had 1 million downloads, very popular game, but we are redoing this game, tokenizing it, and giving our users this experience of mining in the metaverse, mining digitally while saving the earth. Guys, it's a win-win. It's revolutionary. We believe that this will be one of the most popular games out there, because we're trying to work out our association with Gala to where Gala is a part of this. We haven't cut our deal yet, but they're looking at it. And if they put this on their platform, it's a game changer, right? It's going to be one of the coolest games ever, because people are earning the equivalent of their digital gold by playing this game. Now, when they have this, again, we got this game from Todd Hoffman. He's an owner of our company. He's an owner of Element. He just had his brand new show that was last Friday, called Hoffman Family Gold. And he's currently in negotiations with Discovery Channel to wear Element on season 2. So if season 2 comes out now this show is seen worldwide in about 100 countries. And so if he's our spokesman wearing Element, we're going to have a lot of international exposure and legitimacy to us. And then he's the one bringing the game. So there's some really, really big partnerships that we're working on with Gala and the game and Todd Hoffman. And we're really excited, to see those things come to fruition and really start solving some problems. But so back to the game. So you can earn your rewards by playing the game, or if you don't want to play, you just run your node. But when you earn those tokens, Aaron, you mentioned it earlier, you're going to want to hold. Most people, when you get your coins, especially you guys who are early adopters in nodes, most of you will hold the coins, or you can use them for in-game transactions to upgrade your equipment, or you can actually exchange. We're working on a program right now where you can exchange your coins for gold that has already been mined, for physical gold. So some people, you earn these coins in the game and you can exchange it for physical gold. And we're working on a program to do that. Obviously, not many people will do that because they want to hold it, because we believe that the digital coin will outpace the value of the physical gold. And I don't say that lightly, because that's a game-changing statement. Or you can spend your coins on an adventure, go on a gold mining trip with Todd Hoffman, or donate some of your coins to one of the villages. And a lot of that, we're going to be supporting these villages. A percentage of the node purchase will be going to support these villages. We're going to be creating NFTs. We're going to be working on carbon credits. So we're actually, when we save the mine from being mined, the land from being mined, we're working on a program to issue carbon credits so that big corporations can come in and buy NFTs of sections of our gold mines, and to receive carbon credits for that. So there's so many different ways that we can go with this, but we just have to remember that we are doing this with a purpose. What is our why? What are the problems that we're trying to solve? And by solving these problems with us, you guys benefit. Now, of course, node holders, you earn your coins. We don't make any guarantees that the coins will be worth anything, but when you solve real problems and you have real utility for your blockchain, good things happen. And so, our blockchain will own the gold. So when you're looking at a company and you're thinking, okay, how do I know if this company has staying power? Well, you look at our past record with some of the other blockchains we've done. You look at the ownership. You look at the technology. But I look at what's on the books of the company. And because we'll have billions of dollars worth of gold, I look at that and I say, this looks like a pretty stable company to me. So We've got a great team. Myself, you guys have met David before. You've got Todd Hoffman. But what about one last thing, and I won't take up too much time, but what about the gold that's already been mined? How can the Element blockchain help in that process? Okay. What about diamonds and so jewelry? So there's a lot of fraud in the gold business. And one of the things that I found is, well, there's this great movie out there called Blood Diamond with Leonardo DiCaprio that talks about the problems in the diamond business. And so the diamond world has come out with this process called the Kimberley process. That's a process that proves if your diamond is a conflict diamond, because nobody wants blood diamonds. Nobody wants a diamond that came at the expense of a family or of a child who murdered or was murdered. And so there's this process that proves the origin of where your precious metals come from. The blockchain will solve all these problems. The blockchain will solve the supply chain problem all the way from the mine to the refinery, to the wholesaler, to the retailer, to the customer. And we blockchain that entire process. So if we dig up a diamond, they can use the Element blockchain to categorize that diamond to show that it's not a conflict diamond, that it has a certificate of origin, okay? Or let's just say you have a watch and you want to create an NFT for that watch so that if it ever gets stolen, it's registered on the blockchain. Or if you ever sell it, you can sell it with the confidence of knowing that it comes with the NFT. Or, you know, and your buyer can go, oh, great, I've got a physical watch here, but it also comes with an NFT. The entire supply chain in the precious metals industry is going to be put on the blockchain. And we are working very fast to be the biggest player out there. We're working on our deal with Tiffany's right now to start our blockchain process with them. And then of course, we'll go to all the other jewelers all around the world, because there are tens of thousands of transactions that the Element blockchain needs to be a part of. We feel like our technology is the best. There are already a couple competitors out there that are starting this process, but we are working fast to beat them to it and to provide the best solution. The entire jewelry process can be put on the blockchain. So your nodes, we hope, will be very busy. We hope your nodes are processing and verifying a lot of transactions, cleaning up the world, cleaning up the mining industry, and cleaning up the jewelry industry. There's tens of thousands of jewelry stores all over the world who need this process. And this is what we're working toward quickly. Our development team is working on this right now to put this system in place. And then we send our sales teams out there to cut deals with all of these jewelry stores so that we are a true solution. From the mine all the way to the finger, we are the blockchain solution. So blockchain technology can solve all these problems, but again, it goes back to our why. We are trying to help these marginalized communities and bring all people, because as you guys see this technology shift, it's going to create a bigger gap between the haves and the have-nots. And we want to solve that through our community. It takes a full community of a blockchain to solve problems and help communities who are being hurt. And so if we can bring them into this technology, everybody out in the jungles of Ghana has a smartphone and has a little chip you can put into your iPad or your computer that gives you cell service. So what an amazing thing it's going to be for us to be able to level the playing field, to give these people who've been abused by mining companies and by countries for so long, to get them into this new economy so they can thrive and decentralize power, decentralize money, decentralize the value of gold, and create a better world for everybody. And that's all I've got.
Brilliant, Scott. I have two questions that comes up. If you can fill me in on the number one is, what is the timeline for the nodes to start being possible to run? Yep. And then secondly, about the game, what is the rollout plan for?
So the as far as the nodes being able to be turned on, so some of the other nodes are turning on now. We're about 6 weeks behind them, so we're looking for about May for the nodes to be live and up and running. And then for the game, so the game rollout takes a little bit longer because they have to go in and re-tokenize it, and so we don't have a timeline on that yet. But that does take quite a while. It could be a year before the game is active, but your node right now, it's going to be running already. And you guys know in that first year is when so many of the rewards are made in that first year. So you're not missing out on anything, but we want this to be a large, robust community. And so about a year is when that game will be active and live. Now, the game already exists. It's already there. We're closing our deal on it this week with Todd to buy it, but it just takes a time for the development team to retool it, to tokenize it, and then obviously to upload our mining map, with the game interface. And so
I think that is what all the people wants to know, only so we know what kind of time.
Exactly.
Yes, I agree 100% with you. It is a matter of essence to be, from the beginning in it. And do you know when the price will be adjusted upwards?
So it's soon. We always say everything on the price adjustment is imminent. So people were a little bit angry because the element price started at 2,500 instead of 2,000. That was not my decision, I promise, but it's still at 2,500. Now we've sold, typically they change the price. It's like $1 every time one is sold. We've already sold about 1,500. So the price should be around 3,000, but it's not. It's still at 2,500. And so I don't know when it's going to change. They could change it tomorrow. They could change it next week. It is going to change soon. We are fighting to keep that price down. And the other blockchains are mad because they're like, no, if you guys are cheaper, they're going to buy you. And I say, hey, we're the new kids on the block. But so it will change. I don't know when. And I'm not trying to sound like it's a sales pitch.
No, I asked for these facts, Scott. For this fact, I knew that it was more so than it was planned for. But that's good news. We want to thank you, Scott. Brilliant. Why? Because we still have the pricing. And you will be from the beginning at the same time. Bring in more people, so to say. Secondly, the game, maybe a year, to be up with it. That doesn't matter. For me, I'm looking at value created, and it's brilliant to have these mining rights coming in. It's brilliant to put it on a decentralized blockchain. Now, guys, I would like to invite here a person that's been becoming more and more important in my life, Mr. Nigel Allen, to take us forward and speak about what was leaked out, the name already. And guys, I want to tell you guys, you're going to see after Nigel's presentation of that and information, why this guy really jumps in, okay? And he's really jumping in, and I know why Scott is so excited also, because that is why Nigel, May, Aaron, Mike, all the other guys are so excited, because we see what will happen. So please, Nigel, can you enlighten our listeners here about what we have got to know? Okay, the moment. You should be getting...
Okay, can you hear me now?
Brilliant.
Okay, listen, before I speak, I just want to know, is Scott still here?
Yes. I am.
Hi, Scott. I just want to ask you a question, because that was a great presentation. Thank you very much. And I think it highlights to everyone on this call one of the reasons why we're all here, because it's real. It's not like so many other so-called opportunities out there, which are really just smoke and mirrors. There's actually something real here.
Right.
I wanted to ask you a question. You're talking about, and I found it very interesting about the idea of going to Tiffany's and the jewelers, and as well as diamonds and so on, and basically turning them into NFTs. Do you see that as an opportunity that you will be extending out to the general public who've already? Let's suppose you've already got a very nice watch worth $25,000 or $100,000. Will there be a facility for members of the public to use this as a portal to turn their valuable items into an NFT and maybe have it up for sale?
Yes, thank you. And I forgot to mention that. So we are building what's called our eVault. And the eVault is specific to anybody that has anything of value that they want to store in the eVault with an NFT created. So yeah, if I've got my father-in-law, his original gold Rolex watch, that he's giving to his son, he's going to put that in our eVault. So we're going to be doing that with some of our own personal effects first, but it will be available to everybody in the world, the Element eVault. And so that will be a very cool thing for us to do for people to create these NFTs for their
and I think this is fascinating because it gives us as members, as connectors, as we call ourselves, the opportunity, another opportunity to go to our neighbors, to go to our family, to go to ordinary, people who are not involved in the opportunity and say, here's a service you can use.
Absolutely. Thank you. I usually cover that, but I was in a hurry and I spaced it. So excellent.
No, it's all good. I mean, it's just my brain working. That's all.
Yeah.
It doesn't work very often. So,
So yeah, it's called the Element eVault. So for electronic vault. So yep, that's in development now.
That's awesome. Okay. And I'm, again, thinking ahead, maybe I'm out of order here. Is there some kind of possible tie up down the line with insurance companies? So your valuable Rolex watch is categorized on the blockchain as an NFT. So there's your certificate of authenticity. And so if it gets stolen, I mean, are there deals that can be done there with insurance companies?
Yeah. In fact, we've talked to someone came in our office last week with the idea to include the insurance companies because they were thinking that, you could get because it's been registered on the blockchain, a reduced rate or incentives to work, with these insurance companies because we've taken that extra level of security. So, and the big thing with us is to make sure that the Element blockchain is available to pawn shops, to police stations, so that if anything is ever stolen, that they all have access to our system, so they can look it up and make sure that whoever's selling it has that digital right. That is the way that everything is moving. In the next 5 years, everything will be an NFT. It's going to change many, many industries, not just the mining industry, but so many industries are going to be changed because of blockchain technology. And it's all happening rapidly right now, and people are adapting to it. So
wow. It's exciting to see how this can develop going forward then, because I mean, people, who knows what an NFT is? People think it's a picture of an ape or whatever, but an NFT is really just a certificate of authenticity.
That's right.
That's lodged on the blockchain.
Absolutely. Yep.
So fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Scott. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. So everybody who listened to that, I'm kind of speechless, really, because some of you have been in this journey with us for 5 or 6 months or 8 months or whatever. And I'm sure there have been times when you've been doubting your sanity and wondering, why am I still doing this? We're waiting for things to happen. And meanwhile, Joe Schmo over there has gone and worked on some Ponzi scheme for 3 months and made himself, $500,000, although he's having to look over his shoulder because the police are after him. That's another thing. But, you're wondering, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why are we listening to this guy, Nigel, and this guy, Aaron, and, Staffan and people? I mean, we could be off doing something else. Well, you're right, you could. But we're not, and you're not. And the reason is because I think we all see something here. And as one of my mentors said many years ago, Jim Rohn, you all know Jim Rohn, he said, if you could see what I could see, you'd be doing what I'm doing. And that's exactly where we're at here. And one of the things you can see here straight away, and you don't need to hear it from me, you don't need to believe me. Now, this is the beautiful thing. You don't have to take my word for it. You don't have to take Aaron's word for it. You don't have to trust anybody. You can check for yourself. You've just heard from Scott. You can check everything. It's got Todd Hoffman's involved. He's one of the owners. He's on TV. He does, he's not hiding somewhere. He's a well-known figure. And what we've just been exposed to, just a handful of us, just introduced literally yesterday and today, are 2 new people who are going to be playing a very pivotal role in what we're doing going ahead. And don't forget, we are still very, very much in pre-launch. And I know you hate hearing that because you just want to be making money. And I hate hearing it too. But in the timeline of blockchain evolution, we're still, in the Stone Age anyway. And so I'm going to have the pleasure of telling you about 2 people, and you're going to be meeting them next week. And the reason you're going to be meeting them next week is I want you to understand and try and see what we have in our hands here and get everybody you can think of, everyone you've ever spoken to, everyone who's ever turned you down for an opportunity, get them on those webinars, those Zoom calls next week. Because unlike most companies, and I've been involved in the networking industry since 1985, okay? So that makes me like the granddaddy, the grandfather, okay? So, you know, I've been around a while and I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, unfortunately. And what I can say to you is, unlike, I mean, I'm happy, you know, we can have a debate on this. I don't know what's out there because I've actually given up looking at other opportunities. But if you were to bring other opportunities to me now, I would want to know who they are, who's behind them, who's running them, who's putting their name to them. And I bet you couldn't find one that has the credibility of the people that we're about to introduce you to. So, for example, Scott just mentioned, he kind of gave the game away a little bit, of the new president of Green, okay? Now, the new president of Green, and we're going to show you a short video about who this man is and the kind of courage, is the only word I can think of, he has to embrace challenges. I'm going to show you this video at the end, but this new president of Green, his name is Jonathan Gibbs. Now, how many other MLM network marketing companies can you think of where you're going to be able to Google his name and say, Jonathan Gibbs, Forbes? He was in Forbes 2 or 3 times in the last couple, 3 times, there you go, 3 times recently. Okay, Jonathan Gibbs in Forbes. He has built one of the biggest solar, it's called Solar Energy Today, biggest solar companies in the world, which is going to do a huge, I'm not even going to say the amount, IPO, okay? It's doing $1 billion a year. He's walked away from that. He's the biggest shareholder in that. He's walked away from that to head up Green because he sees the incredible worldwide potential in Green being possibly the most useful and used currency in the world. I'll say that again, the most used currency in the world when they start to roll out what they're doing here. Now, out of all the 10,000 blockchain, well, they're not even blockchains, out of all the 10,000 cryptos and tokens that are on the market, how many of them can you name that you're actually using it for its original purpose? How many? Probably 0. Okay, you're going to see some stuff with Green. So if you want to Google Jonathan Gibbs and Forbes, you'll see he's been cited in Forbes. He's an incredible overachiever. He was the #1 2 years running in ACN. If you remember ACN, the long distance telephone company, and he's still in his like 22, 23. He was a baby. This guy is unbelievable and an incredible person in real life. And he's going to be heading up Green. So by the way, we know there have been some niggling issues with Green, some software bugs here and there. And of course, that's all part of being in at the beginning. It's all part of this, you know, being an early adopter. And it's frustrating as hell because you think, why the hell don't they fix this? But, you know, they're trying to put out a fire out over here or whatever at the same time. But all of that's going to come to an end very soon. He knows what we need because he's come from our background. He knows what we need in terms of the customer experience. He's going to make Green, and we're going to do the same with Connect, where you can lead with the customer experience. Instead of the technology dictating the customer experience, from now on, the customer experience will dictate the technology. And you're going to see some big changes in that. It's going to make it something your grandmother could use. Hi, Granny. So, you know, anybody is going to be able to do this. And the other person we're going to, and so first we're going to show you a short video so you get an idea of who this guy Jonathan Gibbs is. Next, you're going to get a chance to meet him on this Zoom call, this same Zoom call next Tuesday. Put it in your diaries and bring 10 people each to the call next Tuesday, because you're going to be able to talk to people. You're going to be able to talk to your friends, your family, your co-workers, your network marketing associates with a feeling of pride, because you've got credibility on your side. You've got credible people that you can not some, guy who's trying to hide in the shadows and pretend he's not involved. This is Jonathan Green, Forbes, one of the biggest solar companies in the world, throwing his hat in with Green, and he's going to be telling you next week exactly why he's done it and what he sees it. And he doesn't need to work, by the way. He does not need the money. He's sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars of equity in his solar company that's going to go public. He does not need the money, but he sees something bigger here. Like I said, if you could see what I could see, you'd be doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to see what he can see, and I'm now getting even more excited than I was. And the reason Aaron and Stefan and me and some of the other guys and you have hung around is because we saw something here. Maybe we couldn't always put our finger on it, but we saw something here that wasn't like those other smoke and mirrors companies out there. Now, another man I'm going to introduce you to, we'll introduce you to next week, the new president of Connect. Now, did you know Connect also has a new president, also a multi-million-dollar earner in the network marketing industry, an experienced earner, an experienced team builder, experienced consultant, experienced manager. His name is Steve Little. You'll be able to Google him too. Steve Little's got a huge experience in this industry. You understand, the people are now coming to us. The people who we need in our ecosystem, in our environment, are starting to be there. You're going to be able to proudly talk to anyone and say, yes, guess you know who our president is. You know who the president of Green is. You know who the president of Element is. You know who the president of Switch is. These are all credible people. And you know what? We know how hard it is. We do it ourselves. When you're out there trying to build a business in the MLM network marketing affiliate arena, it's hard because nobody believes you. There's no credibility. People have been scammed. We've been scammed. But now we've got credibility, huge credibility. And so mark these in your diaries. Next Tuesday will be the webinar, the Zoom with Jonathan Gibbs, new president of Green. Next Thursday will be with Steve Little, the new president of Connect. And both of these guys, we've had 2 calls with them yesterday and today. They get it. They completely get it. They completely understand what we need to make this work. Because we've been screaming at them for a few months, and I'll be honest about that. And it's been frustrating. But guess what? Our persistence has paid off. We're going to have the best management, the most credible management of any affiliate referral-based opportunity in the world. And when the founder of not 1, but not 10, but 17 blockchain projects that we're working on, or they are working on, when he said to me at Christmas, we're going to make this the first $1 trillion networking company, now I really believe it. And we're in this for the long haul. So without any further ado, if you've got the video keyed up, I want to show you a short video, be about 15 minutes long, to give you a taste of the new president of Green, Jonathan Gibbs, who you're going to meet next Tuesday, so you can get into his head. You can understand his mindset. You can see the kind of man he is. And you know what? One of the things that's frustrated me in the networking industry over the years, I'll be honest, is I can't follow someone I can't respect. And, you know, sometimes I've seen these company owners of different companies where, you know, I join it because I'm excited and I like the idea, I like the plan. And then I meet the scumbag owner. I'm like, oh my God, I can't follow this guy because I can't respect him. He's, you know, I've got more talent in my fingernail than he's got. Not the case here. I can actually respect these guys. The new president of Green, the new president of Connect, I can look up to them. And that's what I need as a human being. In order for me to follow, I need to find a leader. And they are capable and worthy leaders. So I'm going to hand this back to Stefan now. Play the video. You get a snapshot, a glimpse of who Jonathan Gibbs is, and make sure you've got everybody and their grandmother on the call next Tuesday. Thank you so much.